So this soap, Dr. Bronner, has been a huge pain. I had it in here initially, and now there's soap all over the inside. And I put it in one bag, and it leaked through that. I put it in another bag, it's leaking through that. If they sell like mini containers, I'll get one of those, but I really hate the soap. Here's another possibility, because there's soap all over the inside of my op sack, because I had it in here. I'm wondering if maybe something tried to take a bite out of it and that punctured it, because it was not leaking soap last night and now it is. It is day 31. I have left Brown Fork Gap. Cable Gap, I think, is the next shelter. It's about 6.3 miles away. I'm hoping to get a little further than that because Fontana is like 11.5 away. But right out of Cable Gap is a big climb. And those are really rough, especially at the end of the day. Yesterday, that section between Sweetwater Gap and the shelter is apparently the start of Jacob's Ladder, according to the book. And I'm sure there's a biblical reason why Jacob is like a bad name, but I don't know what it is. I just know there's another place called Jacob's Hole or Jacob's Well or something like that, where it's super dangerous to dive there, and like, I don't know, 9 people have died. But I know why it's called Jacob's Ladder, because that was a super rough section. Far out says there's a little view at the spot. There is indeed. I wonder if that's Fontana, and that's where we're going. This is Hog Pen Gap. It has benches. It's about 2.3 miles from the shelter. I don't know what's going on, but I'm really struggling today. I kind of feel like I'm coming down with something. Because this section has been like rolling hills, which is usually my jam, but I've been struggling. Could be a nutrition calorie thing. Nock did not exactly have great options. I'm hoping that Fontana has better options, because if they don't, that's going to be an extra struggle going into the Smokies. Still kind of rolling hills, but oh, now we got rocks in here. My camera, or my phone, is almost out of memory, so I gotta do a big purge on it. But until then, I gotta keep getting this out, which is kind of a pain. Like getting it out of the hip pocket and then getting it out of this thing, it's kind of tight. But no stores have had. Well, Outdoor 76 had a Hyperlight one, but it was too small. A shoulder pouch, but I'll make it work. This section is so nice, which is great after having to go up Jacob's Ladder yesterday. And it's also very pretty. The leaves are out. Some of them are even just starting to bloom. I don't know if leaves bloom. There's all kinds of flowers. I think this white triangle one is trillium. These purple ones are a violet. I don't know what the other white ones are. It's not super hot out, but it's also not quite 11 yet. And still headed towards the gap. I think it's a little less than 2 miles away now. After that, there's a big climb, like I said. This is a nice little water source about half a mile from Yellow Creek Gap, which is where I'm going to take my long break for the day. And it has another kind of flower growing here. This section's been pretty nice, pretty flat. Been a couple steeper areas, but overall really good. Alright, we are at the Yellow Creek Gap. Brown Fork Gap is 5.2 miles back. It is, I think, just afternoon. So I'm making good time, even feeling kind of crappy. This is the gap. There's a little bit of cell signal here. I'm sitting and I've got my shoes and socks off so my feet can air out. It's like a weird white balance. I think it's because the sun's behind me. But The shelter is about a mile away. I wanted to go a little past it, maybe 3 or 4 miles. Because I don't want to go straight into Fontana. I want to get close and then do like a narrow into it. And then I have my package at the lodge. But the lodge is supposed to be booked. So I guess while I'm up there, I'll just see if they have a room. Because I already have to go up there. They probably won't. So I'll stay at the Fontana Hilton, which is supposed to be like the nicest shelter on the trail. There's like a solar charger, there's access to like showers and flushing toilets. And then in 2 days I'll probably head into the Smokies. I don't remember if I mentioned this already, but I purchased my pass and then I printed it at the NOC at the outfitter there, so it took about 20 minutes for it to go through. But other than that, it was painless. This is the top of the first big climb out of the shelter. I'm pretty sure this lake right here is Fontana, where we're headed. So I'm probably looking for a site. So this is what we're working with. This is where I am. This I think is about where I want to go. So not too far away, and then you just pop into Fontana. Super easy the next day. This is a slightly better view of the dam. You can see it back there in the lake. It's right there. I think I'm over the top of the last mountain. So I'm gonna really start looking for a spot now, because I'm not sure if there's anyone in the spot that I'm going to, but I'm a little worried about that. This is Walker Gap. Apparently there's another trail called the Yellow Creek Mountain Trail, which I guess goes up that way. I kind of see a trail like right here. The AT keeps going down, and then it goes up there, obviously. There's a little space here. I haven't seen anyone else, so I'm really hoping that when I get to the spot that I'm going to, it's empty. Because I'm not sure I could walk any further. This is slightly shorter than where I was going to stay. I like the space, but this tree is kind of sketchy looking. And none of the other trees look really good for hammocking. So I'm gonna walk a little further to my original spot and see what that looks like. Ooh. Billy Goat Gruff Memorial Bridge. 1-lane bridge, no oversized loads. Load limits 2 legs or less, 300 pounds, 2 to 4 legs, 600 pounds, 6 legs prohibited. So this is where the GPS says is a space for 2 or 3 tents next to the stream. I'm wondering if that was supposed to be for the place that I already passed through, because I think you'll be lucky to get 1 tent in here. Because that's just rocks in the trail, much less 2 or 3. So I'm gonna keep heading down. There's probably more spaces, and we'll see. This is the next spot that Far Out says, or a comment on Far Out said, it's a campsite. I don't really like it. If that tree was smaller, then it would work, but it would have to attach to this tree, and that's like right on the trail, and I don't like that. So I guess I'm gonna keep walking and hope for the best, because Fontana is only like 1.5 miles away now. Found a spot where I'm stopping for the night. It's at 163.8. I was really looking for something that didn't have all of this vegetation all over it, because it would be annoying to walk through. So this spot has a lot of leaves and a bunch of trees, and it is very close to Fontana. It is so close, in fact, that one might say that the dam road is 0.4 miles away. According to Far Out, I've walked... where did I start today? That's not where I started. Brown Fork Gap Shelter to here is 10.93 miles. So, that's way more than I thought I was going to be able to do today, but the sun, I don't know if you can really see it. It's been behind clouds all day, so it's been like a good temperature, and the sun hasn't been too intense, so that's going to be today's video. Tomorrow I'm going to go into Fontana, get my package, get a resupply. Probably stay at the Hilton, and then hopefully go into the Smokies tomorrow, or the day after. Thank you to everyone who has donated to my fundraiser. One of FOA's biggest expenses is medical treatment. That includes making sure animals don't get sick, and if they do get sick, treating them for that. Thank you for donating and watching as always.